Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about Survivor, Island of the Idols.
Woo! But
first,
if you are new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, check out the link in the description.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
this
we
season.
keep loving these episodes.
Yeah.
And then we keep loving these episodes.
Oh my God, there's a lot to get to here, and we start with coming back from the blind side of Jason getting voted out. And Lauren is Waterworks. She feels very betrayed by Missy.
Right.
She's very specifically mad at her.
Yes.
Missy's trying to patch that up.
Yeah.
But Aaron's like, we are in control.
Ugh,
This
Aaron,
is exactly where I wanted to be.
I'm worried for you. I hope you're seeing the full picture here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was assuming that there was something going on with Lauren and Missy.
Yeah.
They seemed very close, and
Confirmed.
Lauren was saying, like, personally, I feel betrayed. Like, I thought, you know, whatever. And Missy was giving her the right things. You know, Missy's working it hard. She's like, I need you for my game.
Sure.
You're not going anywhere. Like, we gotta stick together.
But I'm hearing Lauren's perspective of like, how can I trust you if you're telling me one thing and doing another? Like, you didn't fill me in on this vote, so how do I know I can trust you?
And Elaine kind of was like, look, I had this thing, I had to do it. Like, nothing personal, like, here we go.
It's not necessarily what I wanted, but I had the advantage, so I had to play it.
Right. We do see Tommy and Lauren sort of like pulling up their bootstraps, and they're like, okay, well, if it's gonna be one of us, it can't be us. It's gotta be Dan.
Right.
They start working that angle.
Yes, right.
And Dan, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it, yeah. So on the other tribe, it's pouring rain, okay?
It is.
Everybody's soaked. The fire's gone. Jamal's getting to work
Survivor.
on the fire. He wants to try. He tries.
Tries and tries.
He tries and tries and
Tries
tries.
and tries and tries.
And Kelly's like, can I give it a shot? And he's like, well, I think I got it. And
I'll keep trying.
Yeah, and she's like, she's starting to get hangry, right? You can kind of tell. And she's like, I just get frustrated
they're cold,
when...
they're wet.
Yeah. They're hungry.
And
She's
he
not
ain't letting
pleased.
her do the fire.
Yeah. Well, then she tries, and sure enough, she gets it. I mean, thank you, editors. They
Right.
like, you
Of
know,
course, let's
of
get
course
right
that
to
spark
it.
is immediate
Yeah.
when Kelly tries, and they have a blazing fire. Then they're making rice, and Nora's saying, we don't have enough rice. And he's like, and Jamal's, you know, explaining that she's got a big shell in her hand or something, and she's not having that. Jamal's just not making many friends on this tribe.
He's not. We see that at camp life, he's rubbing people the wrong way. It's not working smoothly. So of course that makes Nora be like, hey, I want Jamal out. Let's do this.
Yes.
Janet is the one who's like...
She's like, pump the brakes, Nora. Just wait till the merge.
Not till merge.
Okay, let's just stay Vokai strong. Don't get ahead of yourself. Like, I don't trust Dean. Dean's too pretty.
He's a pretty boy. You can't trust him.
We gotta focus on getting this pretty boy out of here. We cannot have him at the merge. Well, then Janet gets called to Island of the Idols, right?
Oh, the boat pulls up. Guess what? Janet, your turn. And she's like,
she's like, I'm scared. Like
she's crying.
So
She said
terrified.
she's scared, which I didn't understand at first. I was like, she seems fearless.
Yeah.
But it was more of like the target that was going to be on her back.
I think it's more the strategic aspect where she's like, I don't want this target. Like, everybody who's gone to the island has had a target on their backs. Like, I don't want to have anything to do with this. Like, I'm doing a good job flying under the radar. Leave me alone.
Yeah, and she even says, like, I am in a good place. Like, let's not mess this up.
Yeah.
But it's very cute when she gets there and you see her face and she sees Robin Sandra and she's like, oh my God.
Yes. She's like almost speechless.
Yeah.
They're like, you good? And she's like, yeah, sorry.
But
like,
she
she's
has,
just
like, the
overwhelmed.
cute grin. It was very, very cute.
So the lesson at Island of the Idols this week is about calculated risk.
Yes.
Right? Thinking 3 moves ahead. And Janet's like, I hear you, Rob. That's what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah.
So he explains this game that they can play, and she's essentially playing for safety without power, which I've never seen as long as I've been
it
like,
was
watching
real
Survivor.
iffy because it was different than an idol in the fact that she was gonna like literally leave tribal, which doesn't sound like an advantage to me. Great, yes, of course you're safe.
Right.
But you're missing out on what your tribe is doing.
That's right.
That is super dangerous.
And you don't get a vote, which she brings up. She's like, it feels like I'm gonna put a target on my back by walking out of a tribal. And then what if I mess up the vote? Like my alliance, you know, has only so many votes and we're trying to get somebody out, but then I leave without being able to vote and I screw my alliance? doesn't feel great to me.
Yeah.
So she takes a second to consider her options and she says no.
Yeah.
I'm not playing.
Rob and Sandra could not have been happier.
They were like grinning immediately.
They were so, it was like, Mom and Dad are proud of you. Yes. They were like, she did it. She calculated the risk. And she said, not worth it.
Yeah.
And it's true, like, she was the most grounded we've ever seen anyone at Island of the Idols.
Yes.
Like, everyone's like, gung-ho.
Let's do it.
And Janet could at least appreciate where she was and say, no.
Yeah, and it was nice to see her really talk it through.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she was, like, produced to do that, but it was nice to hear her sort of consider all the different scenarios and, like, okay, it could be good in this way, but bad in this way. She sails off, though, without playing, and Sandra is like, she's got the makings of a winner. I've been saying it's going to be a woman this season.
Sandra, we hear you. Yes.
So Janet goes back to her tribe and she's like, I didn't play. Like, she kind of fudges the details. Yeah. She's
like, look, I got nothing.
And she kind of fudges the details a bit in terms of what she shares.
She made it very similar to Kelly's, which is so smart.
Yeah.
Because she and Kelly are aligned.
That's right.
They got no issues.
That's right.
And so she's like, we're going to keep this little secret going. I'm sure they talked privately.
Yeah.
But in front of everyone, she explains. And she sounded very truthful. Like, the way she explained her little lie was like, look, I wasn't going to do that. Like, it sounded risky. I wasn't going to do it. It was a game of chance. I'm not doing it.
Then I think it's back on the other camp when we start to see Dan get a little bit of the creepy old man edit.
Yeah, we see like the night vision and it's like, who is that? Because like you see someone really cuddle up.
I was like, is that Dean cuddling with somebody?
Yeah, I know.
That's been like a narrative this season.
Kiss of death right there.
But it's like an arm flopping over another body.
But I could tell it was Lauren's hair. And then we see the next day, Lauren's like, let me just act this out for you. And it's like, hi.
Boob, 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 boob. And like,
you're like, oh
Dan.
no, Dan is still touchy. Like, I thought he learned his lesson.
It's the one thing to stick your hand in people's bags, looking for idols and stuff.
And that's what he likes to do.
Your hands all over people's bodies. Like, it's just not a thing we're doing right now or really ever again. Okay?
Right.
Like, we're moving on from that.
Moving away from that.
So she's kind of like, you know, jokey building.
All the ladies are sort of kind of laughing
Tommy's
about
there.
it. Yes. Yeah. And so this is when Tommy and Lauren are really like, let's use this to our advantage.
Right, because
Let's
Tommy's
really talk it up.
about to cry based on the fact that he might get voted out pre-merge. Yeah. So he and Lauren are looking for any reason to paint Dan as a target, but they come on a bit too strong.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We just kind of learned that Aaron and Missy had come on so strong about, we'll get rid of Elaine, no big deal. And it made
like
Jason
raised alarm bells for people.
Tommy and them go, well, why do they want to get rid of Elaine? Well, so now Tommy and Lauren are like, Dan.
And so of course Missy's like, why Dan?
But we see you.
Yeah.
We see what you're doing. So more than likely it's not going to be Dan.
Yeah, because they're all like, Dan's a nothing.
Yeah,
like
we're
not worried about Dan. We're worried about Tommy. So now I'm like freaking out about Tommy.
Yeah. But this is all before we play immunity.
Okay.
So let's go play immunity.
No reward this week. It's just immunity. And it's, you know, throwing things into a basket. Yeah. Coconuts.
We got to throw coconuts first, so we're divided up. We have to decide who's going to throw versus who's going to do the puzzle at the end.
Right.
And Vokai gets a great lead.
Of course.
They can throw coconuts.
Of course they can.
Dean, this is the one thing you can do.
Still struggling.
Was not able to do it.
Struggling.
So they fall behind, Lyra does. Vokai gets up to the puzzle first. They're on it. Lauren is like yelling.
She is like the task master.
This puzzle, here, move
Switch
here,
pieces.
go here.
She's not messing around.
Lyra eventually gets to the puzzle.
And they're a mess.
They seem like they're not talking at all.
No coordination. They also seem like they're moving a bit slower with the pieces. Maybe it's because they've won fewer reward challenges. They have less gas in the tank.
And everyone's just like wet.
They're wet. They're miserable.
They're miserable.
Oh, by the way, there was no mention of Jason being gone.
Your first look at Jason voted out.
No.
None of that.
Nothing.
Were they so wet and cold they forgot to do it?
They were like, let's just go. Let's get this over with. But the Vokai finishes the puzzle. They think they've got it, but a couple of their pieces are misplaced. And then it really turns into this photo finish because Lyra is trying to jam in their final piece as Vokai is like rotating their final pieces.
Yeah. Elaine was yelling, "This isn't right." And Lauren, I don't think was listening. Lauren was just like, this. And they calling Jeff over and Elaine's like, "It's not right."
Yeah, she's like, "This is wrong right here. I'll tell you. You don't have to get Jeff. Like, this is wrong."
But that does, I mean, Lyra, even though they looked like they were not doing well, they really were getting through the puzzle and they were right there. And God, Jamal was like trying to shove that piece in. The camera's going back and forth. I can't tell who's winning.
I know.
But Vokai does.
Vokai wins.
Vokai wins it.
You know, Missy and Lauren, we see them embrace, and Missy's like, "No, let's win this game." Missy is like very intense in the immunity challenges.
Yes.
And Lyra is just really defeated.
And it's kind of I mean, I wasn't expecting Lyra to win.
Yeah.
But it's a shame to see them so close.
So close.
Because they seem so far away.
Yeah, that's right. So we go back to camp. And of course, Dean is the immediate target because you've got 5
Guess what the easy vote is?
That's the easy vote. And so what are we thinking? Too obvious.
Too obvious.
Yeah.
You're pushing Dean down our throats. Editors, we're on to you.
Yeah, not gonna be Dean. So, but you've got 5 Vokais and 2 Lyros, original Lyros on this tribe. So you're thinking it's either Dean or Karishma, but nobody's threatened by Karishma.
No, Karishma is soup safe.
Dean is the obvious vote.
They're telling Dean, though, Jamal and Jack have been sort of working on Dean, and they're like, "Guys, we gotta get a little girls together."
Yeah, right.
So they're telling him Nora. Nora's the easy vote out, you know, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, she's
and Dean
crazy.
is like, I mean, I have to believe them.
Yeah. What choice does he have?
They're really good. If these are lies, these are really good to my face.
Right. Well, they are lies.
They are lies, Dean. And here's where your savior on the white horse rides in.
Kelly, the one that I called as a potential winner, and now she's starting to make those big moves, which I love. She's got a moment of inspiration.
Oh my God, her moment of inspiration. The fact that we got to see it like work its way out was great.
Yes.
She's like, getting it? It's coming?
What?
And she's like, here it is.
Okay.
I have an idol. She knows it's only good this tribal.
It's gonna expire. She doesn't use it.
Like,
and she's like, it sucks
why
for an
waste
idol to
one?
go waste.
Yeah.
Go to waste. And that's, I think, what gives her the inspiration. She's like, I don't want to waste my idol. Wait a minute. Maybe I don't have to. Because don't forget, Kelly knows Dean. Loosely.
They have a connection. They don't really know each other, but they have a connection.
Yeah.
And I guess that connection turns out to be fairly important.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to give him her idol if she doesn't want him in her back pocket.
Right.
But she does.
She does. So her plan is to give the idol to Dean. She doesn't want people to know that she got an idol from Island of the Idols. I'm not going to play it for Dean. I'm going to give it to Dean.
Yes.
But now I've got to convince him that he needs to vote out someone that I want gone, which I don't think is too tough because Dean's on his own. So if someone comes to you and says, I want to work with you and give you this idol and save you, you're going home, why wouldn't he be like, great, finally I have an ally. I will do whatever you say and work with you moving forward.
Yes, that is a huge, like, vote of confidence, a huge like support, like what she is saying she's gonna do. Now in this moment of inspiration, she kind of throws out like, but if Dean doesn't believe me, like maybe I can involve Nora. And you're just like, well, this is convoluted.
Too many ifs. Too many
ifs. And why wouldn't Dean trust you?
So
we do see her start to play this out.
Yeah.
And she goes to Dean and she's like, it's you.
And he's like, are you sure? Because he believed Jamal and Jack, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I heard it was Nora. And she's like, it is you 1,000%.
Every single person is voting you.
Yeah.
all of them you. So you know he's like, whoa.
And I love how she goes, tell me you have an idol. And he's like, I don't. And she's like, well, I do.
But I do.
And she's like, and I want to give it to you. And he's like, what?
Right? I mean, if anyone says, I want to give you an idol,
I'm like, whatever you want.
Putty in your hands. Yes, I owe you for the rest of the game, basically.
Yeah.
But we don't, of course, we don't get to see all of this. They start to head off to tribal, but I'm just imagining, that makes sense.
Yeah.
She says either Jamal or Jack
yes.
are her targets.
Right.
So we're not 100%, but I'm thinking Jamal.
I'm thinking Jamal just because of the edit that Jamal's been getting this episode where he's rubbing people the wrong way.
That Jamal is a possibility. So that's where my head's at.
But we also know going into this tribal that Jamal also has an idol. So there's a lot of things that might happen, right? We get to tribal and Jeff's kind of like, okay, you've got 5 from one tribe and 2 from this other tribe. At what point do those original tribal lines stop meaning anything? And Nora's like, Jeff, listen, I cannot trust this Dean guy. He can't even make eye contact with me. So like, I gotta get him out, Jeff. He's gotta go.
We love you, Nora. Yeah. But sometimes maybe don't say everything on your mind.
I know.
Sometimes.
Because Jeff's like, whoa, Dean, that was pretty pointed, wasn't it? And he's like, well, Nora, you want to get Jamal out.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I mean, I can't say I haven't thought about it.
Jamal's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Nora,
Jamal straight up is like, Nora, is Dean lying?
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I
can't. Like, Nora's not good at lies.
No. No.
We've seen it already.
Yes. Bless her heart, you know? She's an honest soul. Or I don't know if she tries to lie. She's just a horrible liar is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's super entertaining to us. I adore it. But she's like getting herself in trouble because Jamal's like calling her out and she's like wiggling and she's like, well, I mean, it's, you know, it's come up.
Yeah, right.
And they're talking about like love, hate, and she's like, well, the opposite of love is indifference. And I'm indifferent to you, which is more dangerous than the fact that sometimes I hate Jamal. It's just like, oh boy.
So Jamal's like, well, all of a sudden I'm not feeling super comfortable. Maybe it's gonna be me, and like, I'm afraid of a women's alliance.
Okay.
Well, that lights a fire under Kelly. Like, I have not seen from her in a tribal council so far.
And so, here's my first applause.
Very impressed with this speech
that Kelly's like, look, oh my gosh, people are so terrified. And this is what, like, we've all kind of keep saying, like, why are these men so terrified of a women's alliance when most of the time they don't succeed? It's not like this powerful force that we've seen over and over again dominate these shows.
Right.
And Kelly makes this great point of like, how many times have we seen 3 men in the final 3? Yet we're not throwing around men's alliance, when that's the more common thing you see.
Hello.
So that's my first round of applause.
Yes, and she's like, the fear of a women's alliance far outpaces the reality of women's alliances. So like, that's a little sexist. She says that. And I'm like, ooh, like, you gotta be careful about like how hard you come at people in these tribals, but she's passionate about this and she just wants to shut it down. Like, this is not a thing. And then Janet, you know, as like the matriarch of the tribe, she gets this sweeping music as she talks about we're all people, and I see value in Jamal regardless of his gender, and value in Kelly and Nora, and you know.
Don't put us down by saying that we're only going to align because we're all women. That's devaluing us and saying that we're devaluing you.
And that we don't have a brain to think about someone outside of their gender.
And what they might have to offer us as individuals. I mean, the music changes, like you said. Oh. I'm now very much applauding, getting a little teary. I'm like, these 2 women are saying what we've kind of been like yelling at our TVs for a while, but they're saying it so well.
And what I loved about Janet's point too is she's saying women can't succeed without men. Not like we need men, but like we need everybody. Like we're all in this together.
Men and women.
Right.
She was being inclusive, and that was the way to say it, because it's true. We all can work together. It's not like anti one sex and anti, you know, or the other.
Now, while this is happening, I am kind of thinking they have mentioned a women's alliance. At least Nora has, okay? So as much as we want to say like, Jamal, you're a sexist, he's kind of right that it's been brought up. So Jamal's like, Jeff, ask Nora.
Ask Nora, because she can't lie. Yeah. Why don't you just ask Nora and then we'll feel it out.
And Jeff says, well, Nora, has there been talk of a women's alliance? Well, it sounds fun.
It sounds fun.
I don't know. It could be great. It's just like, how many times can you put your foot in your mouth in one tribal?
Oh, it's so good. But Jamal does like realize like this is a bigger conversation.
Yeah, he handles it very well.
Than these individuals, and you know, he's able to put a little button on it as well. Yeah. And then we can finally go vote. And Jeff even says, he's like, after this like beautiful tribal, like I can't believe we're gonna vote somebody out.
That's right, yeah.
But we are. Jamal, though, is scared.
He is.
His name has been brought up. Nora, it is a thing, and we know he has an idol.
So I'm running the possibilities in my mind right now, and I'm like, if they voted for Jamal, he's probably going to play his idol now. So if Dean and Jamal play their idols, are no votes going to count? And then we've got to re-vote, and what's going to happen? Like, let's get to it.
Yes, because now I'm like, oh, it is someone completely different. Who's it going to be?
Yeah.
We go to the votes. The only one we see is
Karishma. She was like, you shot 3 times and you missed. And I'm nailing you on my first try.
Yeah.
Stay dry, sweetie.
Yeah. Oh, Karishma came for Dean.
She did.
And I was like, oh, sweetie.
He's got an idol that you don't know about that. So, Jeff brings back the votes and he says, does anybody have an idol? And Dean's got a little something.
Oh, Dean's like, I do, actually. I do.
Yes. I'm going to play this.
And Nora's the one that's like, he didn't play that before.
Yeah, and Kelly's like, oh.
Kelly's acting.
Not believe
Kelly's face. Kelly's face.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Perfect.
She's playing so well.
Yeah, so, Dean's now safe. And then Jamal stands up.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, here we go.
Here we go. Jamal was scared during this conversation.
That's right.
Jamal is now scared that Dean has an idol that was just played.
Right, so he knows all those votes aren't going to count.
So Jamal has to protect himself.
Well,
he did not.
He chose to play it for Nora.
Played his idol for Nora.
Now, I want to dig in. Let's get through what happened, but I gotta dig in after that to why Jamal would play it. Let's do it now. I just feel like, did Jamal get caught up in being called a sexist and thought, I'm not going out this way, I'm gonna play it for a woman who just said that she had considered voting me out?
She said she has considered voting me out and considered a females alliance. And so I'm gonna protect her with my idol.
And I'm thinking, now Jamal's gonna go home.
Yes. Jamal, I mean, I think it obviously came from a good place where he went on some sort of a journey in the way that he was thinking and wanted to show like his support to her, that he's not against her, that they can work together. It's a lovely gesture to show. Yeah. But we're talking about an idol,
it's an idol,
sir.
It's an idol.
Especially since he knows a lot of votes went to Dean, and Dean is safe. So if he thinks the other votes went to Nora, he's saying, I'm protecting you, but he's also saying, we're gonna now vote again.
And I'm an option.
And he's an option.
Huh? Like, what? I do understand, like, the thinking of if it's not Dean, it's probably Nora, because Jamal had planted in Dean's head Nora's the vote.
He's assuming Dean is voting for Nora.
Jamal thinks that there's 6 votes for Dean and that Dean voted for Nora. But I just don't understand
why it's worth it.
Because the other thing is, everybody's been talking the whole episode about how the merge is coming. So why would you dump an idol right before the merge? You're going to need that idol when you get to a merge situation.
Yeah, I think it was coming from a good place, but like game-wise, I'm not sure that it was the smartest decision. Yeah. Turns out it was really not a smart decision because we get to see the votes. Yeah. Bunch of Deans, of course.
Yeah. And then 2 Jacks.
And it's Jack, it's not Jamal, and it's not Nora!
So Nora turns around and she's like, I'm so sorry you wasted that on me.
Side note, Nora voted for Jack!
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamal's like, oh, sorry, buddy. He says that to Jack. Like, I mean, they did a great job. Obviously, Nora was planning on voting for Jack, and Dean was voting for Jack. Yeah. They did a great job of not really focusing on Jack.
Yeah,
it didn't seem like Jack was in danger. Mm-hmm. So good to them. I mean, good to Kelly overall.
This was Kelly's move.
Flawlessly.
100%. And she did mention, like, the editors gave us a little bit about why Jack would go home, because Kelly was talking about how good he is with people and how well connected he is, and that really makes him a threat. But we really didn't know whether it was going to be Jack or Jamal that she landed on.
Right.
But
I was just assuming Jamal.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
good misdirect in that tribal because it was all about sort of how Jamal was fumbling in this conversation about women, and we all kind of lost sight of, you know, the strengths that Jack has brought to the game so far, and that Kelly ultimately thought he was a bigger threat. It's interesting that Nora, knowing now, based on how the votes went, that she was looped into this plan, she must have known that Dean...
I don't know. I don't feel like Kelly gave her the full plan.
So what do you think Kelly told her? Like, what if Dean has an idol? Why don't you throw a vote to Jack?
Yeah.
And Nora was like, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I think Kelly came up with something like that was very vague and was just like, we gotta have a backup plan. We gotta do something like, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like, just pulled Nora in some way to get Nora to vote for Jack.
She definitely wouldn't tell Nora that she was giving Dean an idol. That would be horrible.
I don't think we can trust Nora to keep that a secret for the rest of the game. But again, Kelly...
Great move.
Voted for Dean. No one knows that she gave him the idol. Like, she looks like, what happened?
And now she's got, like, a ride or die with Dean.
For sure.
And, like, that's not a horrible person to, like, have with you the whole way, because, like, he's not going to beat her in a final situation if she's able to, like, bring him all the way to the end. Like, that's a good person to really have in your corner.
And to kind of secretly have in your corner is even better.
Yes. Totally secret alliance.
Jeff made this great line about, like, it's moments like these that really have helped Survivor be relevant after 20 years, and it's so true.
Oh my God.
Like, we were talking last week about how, like, reality shows look at Survivor and see how they're doing it, because you can do it well and not just be salacious and fall into the pit of, you know, racism or sexism or, you know, all of this crap.
Yeah.
And here we are having another week with great social commentary, and that is why Survivor is just at the top.
Good casting. That's what it all comes down to, I think. Like,
for sure.
Really excellent on a lot of levels this episode.
And then Jeff also says, Jack, first member of jury.
And we're like, what?
Wait, who? Why?
And then also, it's merge next week, and I'm like, what? Already? Like, it just seems
it's already
early
merged,
to have
but
a
Jack
merge.
is pre-merge jury.
Pre-merge jury doesn't make any sense.
It does not, which makes me think something else is coming up.
Maybe.
To counteract
to
this,
balance.
to balance
I mean,
this.
for me, like, thinking about the numbers of it all, now we're going to merge with 13 people. So if you end up with 3 in the tribal, in the final tribal, that leaves 10 on the jury if you're only going post-merge.
Right.
Well, then, if they split the votes between 2 people, you've got a tie. So maybe they're trying to make it an odd number on the jury. But they've already shown before that if there's a tie in the final jury, that third person casts the vote. So I don't know what the justification is here for Jack being on the jury.
So either they're trying to avoid that third person even potentially voting, we don't even come close to a tie, or they're going to do something else along the line here that gets us back to a 10 votes. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
But that's the surprise we got.
Yeah.
But next week, merge.
Merge. It's great. I mean, it's going to be the first episode after the merge is always so good because it's a free-for-all. People are reuniting. People have new alliances and old alliances.
They're scared. Everyone has to start competing individually. It's great.
I think we saw everybody's name thrown out in the tease for next week. Like, everybody is a target.
Yes. Everyone is a target.
Yeah.
And who are you really going to work with?
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, Karishma is solidly with her new group. Dean is up in the air.
Yeah.
But he's definitely going to be with Kelly.
Yeah. Because
I don't know.
Dean did get backstabbed by his Lyro tribe like multiple times.
He doesn't really owe them.
He doesn't really have anyone to go back to there. So he's probably just secretly with Kelly.
Yeah.
But I do think, I mean, Jack was a good one to get out right before the merge because he is super physically capable, more so than Dean.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's a good one to get out.
He was going to be dangerous.
But you've got like an Aaron, you've got a Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
You've got really strong guys at the merge now who are probably going to win some of those individual immunities.
Right. I feel like we've seen such strong women this like pre-merge era of the season. They are definitely making decisions. They are definitely like running things, but we don't know how that pans out when it comes to individual immunity challenges.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, we've definitely had some seasons where most of the winners were women, so I'm not counting them out at all. I'm just wondering if we'll have a shift. I don't know.
And I do think so far, haven't there only been 2 women voted out, Chelsea and Molly?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
So women have really been dominating this season so far. But like
Missy
you said,
even said that to Lauren. She was like, and since the swap, a woman has
Yeah.
not gone out. Like,
Yeah.
we're not doing it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, Missy, you got Chelsea out.
Yeah, it's your fault that Chelsea went home.
It shouldn't have been any women. But no, just kidding. We want to know what you think about Kelly's play, about this getting Jack out totally secretly.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And also, who do you think is going to be in trouble when we get to this merge? And also, like, what's the deal with Jack? What did we miss here? Jack being on the jury. Explain that.
Explain why Jack is beginning the jury already.
Yes.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week.
All right, bye.
Bye.